Hello guys, welcome to Boson's Botany, and in this video I'm continuing with root modification or various types of modified roots. I have already discussed about storage roots, and here I will explain about respiratory roots, nodulous root, prop roots, stilt root, floating roots, assimilatory roots, and some few examples. So respiratory roots, modified tap roots known as pneumatophores. So respiratory roots are also known as pneumatophores and they are modified tap root, negatively geotropic root since they grow or come out from the ground for gaseous exchange. So roots basically they penetrate down into the soil, but in case of respiratory roots or pneumatophores to be specific, they are negatively geotrophic because these roots come out above the soil surface for gaseous exchange. Very common example, Rhizophora. Some other examples are Soneraceae and Avicennia. But Rhizophora is very important. It grows, or these roots are found in salty marshes, or they have halophytic type of habit, or halophytic plants are commonly having these pneumatophoric roots because they grow in marshy salty areas. And this is the diagram that I have shown here. These two are pneumatothores or pneumatophoric roots which are arising above the soil surface for respiratory purpose or gaseous exchange. Nodulated roots, modified tap roots found in family Fabaceae or family Papilionaceae. For example, peas, then other examples belonging to Fabaceae family or Papilionaceae family. So these examples have nodulated roots. They have nitrogen fixing bacterium, and very common example, Rhizobium. So I think this is very common for you all. You have heard about nodulous roots which are found in uh, you know uh, plants or roots of plants which are belonging to family Fabaceae. For example, Pisum sativum, commonly known as pea, garden pea, and this is the diagrammatic representation. As you can see, these are some outgrowths which are found in case of nodulated roots fixing having nitrogen fixing bacteria. So this is all about nodulated root. Now, prop roots arising from branches of stem grow vertically downwards towards the soil, and on touching the ground they anchor the soil, giving additional support to the plant. So these roots are arising from branches and growing vertically downward. Basically they are hanging roots, and they grow towards the soil, and after touching the ground they give additional support to the plant. Very common example, Ficus bengalaris, commonly known as banyan. I think you all have seen a banyan tree which has many hanging roots or prop roots. So very famous example, Ficus bengalaris, representing prop roots. Stilt roots, fibrous roots from basal nodes of the stem. So these are modified fibrous roots which arise from basal nodes of the stem. They grow obliquely and needed for support, found in sugarcane or Saccharum officinarum and Zea mays. This is the diagram. This is the upper node and this is the lower node of stem, and from the lower node these stilt roots are developed, and beneath these stilt roots we have fibrous roots. Floating roots found in floating hydrophytes, white spongy roots from stem for flotation. Assimilatory root, from the word itself you can correlate this example with photosynthetic roots or roots which are participating in photosynthesis. So these are photosynthetic roots. Aerial roots in Tinospora and submerged roots in Trapa. So roots which are facing the atmosphere or which are in direct contact with atmospheric air, they are aerial roots found in Tinospora, or which are submerged then these submerged roots are found in Trapa. Become green for photosynthesis. So to carry out the process of photosynthesis, assimilatory roots become green. Aerial and climbing roots of orchid. Orchid plants grow epiphytically and face the problem of water scarcity and anchorage. So due to epiphytic nature of orchid plants, they face water scarcity as well as anchorage problem. Due to that reason, they have two kinds of roots, which are aerial roots and climbing roots. Aerial roots arise from the plant and hang in the air, have velamen. This is a superficial layer which is present uh, towards the outer side of aerial root. Velamen is needed for water absorption. Climbing roots fix the plant to its support. So this is a very simple diagram that I have drawn. These are leaves, and this is the climbing root. This is the aerial root, which is growing from the plant and facing or hanging in the air, and this is the climbing root supporting the plant. Now I am starting with stem. So some few points regarding stem. Stem is an ascending portion of plant axis. It develops from plumule. It is green when young and becomes brownish when becomes old. Positively phototropic, negatively geotropic, and negatively hydrotropic. I think I don't need to emphasize this particular sentence because it must be clear to you all after explaining so much about positive and negative geotropism. So this is all about positive, geotropism or negative geotropism of stem. Stem has nodes and internodes. It has buds, and buds are basically young, immature, condensed shoot. So if you are asked to define buds in one complete sentence, you can define them as young, immature, condensed shoot. So types of buds. First, vegetative type of buds, and vegetative buds make stem and branches. Vegetative bud is divided into apical or terminal bud, axillary bud, and adventitious bud. Apical or terminal bud present at the apical system or towards the apex, and it is mainly needed for elongation of stem and branch. Axillary bud present on the axil of leaf making branches. Adventitious bud positions other than apex and axil, so found anywhere on any portion of stem other than apex and axil. And adventitious bud is of following three categories: radical, foliar, and colline. Radical bud present on root, example sweet potato. Foliar bud present on leaf, example bryophyllum. Colline bud present on stem but not on apex and axil, and present in case of jackfruit. So I have started with stem, and in my next video I will discuss about floral buds and then modifications of stem. Thank you.